people in their early 20s or mid 20s, late 20s, have you found that it also happens to them?
Panic and anxiety. I have a lot of girls, even college girls, coming to me, and that's blood sugar dysregulation oftentimes too, where your body's in that low blood sugar, and it's like, oh shoot, the cortisol is trying to help you out, and you feel that, and then you get anxious, and you might sweat from that, but not the same type of hot flashes as like menopause. So, one of the little tips that I tell my clients is, hey, when you get up in the morning, have a couple of glasses of room temperature water or even warm water with lemon, because at night while you were sleeping, your liver was working really hard to get toxins out. And unfortunately, what most people do is they go and they either have coffee or breakfast or whatever, and then the bile, that yellow stuff that comes out with the toxins, because you just ate something, your liver goes, oh, we got to get to work and break it down. It reabsorbs the toxins instead of getting it out. So, also another reason for night sweats is if someone has a sluggish liver, which can be caused by just, again, environmental toxins, your water quality, prescriptions. It could be a lot of different things. A lot of women have sluggish or congested liver and have no idea. And your body's really trying to work hard at night to get the stuff out of your system. And the body's so, isn't it just such a miraculous thing that it knows what to do? We just have to, again, get out of here and get into here, right? So many people are, uh, you know, going off of what they've read or, someone told them instead of listening to their intuition. When women come to me, yeah, I say to them, my goal for you when you leave me is that you're not on autopilot and doing those things, that you are a conscious being, that you are connected to your body and understanding that maybe today you need a day of rest. Maybe you need to eat red meat today because you're craving it. It's not bad because our doctor said you're going to get high cholesterol, or eggs. I'm like, I can't just, like I can't, the egg is not the thing causing your high cholesterol.
You mentioned being on a biohacking journey
Hmm.
to reverse your biological age. Could you go more in depth with that?
Yeah, so I was just fascinated when I did my functional labs. I had to be my own first client, and I was working out, looked fit on the outside, all of those things. And when I did my labs, they were so telltailing, if you will. My liver was completely congested. My oxidative stress, which ideally is supposed to not be accelerating, was accelerating. Oxidative stress is what makes the aging process speed up. We have chronological age, which is your birthday. You can't change that, right? But biological age is how quickly are your cells aging, and you can check that on a test. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So I really became fascinated with the fact that we have so many functional tools nowadays. You can have these labs that they're not, I mean, yes, they're an investment, but they're not crazy where people can't afford them. And I'm a believer in testing every year because we're exposed to different things. We travel, we have different stressors, and you can really dial things in based on what those labs are telling you. Just amazing. I went to, a biohacking conference in Miami in October, and it was my first biohacking conference. And it was really cool to like listen to Dave Asprey and all these people who are doing brain tap type things and algae. Now I'm taking algae every day, these energy bits. And I just think there are so many natural things out there that we can use these days that people just are unaware of. And I don't feel, again, I am going to be 50 in July. I do not feel like 50, or like when my parents were growing up, what a 50-year-old would look like, act like, whatever their health history would be. I feel like that's all BS, that we can take control and not just accept that, oh, I'm this age and this is the way it's going to be, or my health's going to decline. Um, Knowledge is power, and you can't just have the knowledge, but acting on it, like the functional labs, and then knowing how can I fix my oxidative stress. Well, let me get learning how to clean out my liver. And, I'm proud to say that testing and testing, things have cleared up. So I know that actually works. You can see it. It dialed back. And I'm like, all right, that's awesome.
And you probably feel younger, more energy.
Yes. Yes. I just thought I was always tired at night because I run a couple of businesses, and I have 2 kids and I'm a single mom, and I'm like, "Oh, this is the way I'm supposed to feel." But then once I started to clean things up and really, act on the data that I had from those functional labs, it's just totally different.
What role do supplements play?
There are some supplements. I think everyone's deficient in magnesium. Stress strips magnesium. So that's something that I'm like, all right, everyone really should be taking magnesium. But for the most part, it's dangerous to just take probiotics. I've seen a lot of people who take probiotics and they haven't tested and they overpopulate certain strains, which can also cause issues. They might not be populating the right strains. So it's tricky to be just taking supplements based on what you read in your article or what your sister's taking. I don't really believe in taking supplements unless you have a scientific reason. You've got to test that you're vitamin D deficient or uh, things like that. The other role that supplements play in my world is for healing protocols. So if someone, say, has H. pylori and they don't want to go the medication route, well, before there were all these prescriptions, people did heal from things, let's face it. And people can self-treat with certain herbs that can be pretty strong. They can heal their stomach, things like marshmallow root. But um, I'm a big believer in focused supplementation and not for long term. There's some things like some of the women that I work with who are 50 or 60, they're just depleted from stress and like vitamin B's or ashwagandha, things like that. They're going to need that because I can tell you they're not going to manage stress if they haven't till 50 or 60 to help them with that. But most supplementation should be short term and targeted towards an issue that you're trying to resolve and then move on from. And in the process, being educated by a practitioner on like how you possibly incurred that issue or that healing opportunity. How come? Like, where'd it come from? So that it doesn't reoccur again. If you can prevent it and make the lifestyle changes, that's the ultimate goal, is that you're not popping all these supplements every day. And there is a real problem with our food. I used to say, oh, you can get a lot of the stuff from nutrition or food. That's not really true these days because our soil's so depleted. If you get something at the grocery store in this area, I can't grow my own garden. If it's being trucked from California to Massachusetts, that's already a few days. And then it goes to the grocery store and then I'm getting the food. You've lost so much of the nutrition in that process that sometimes you do need supplements, but you want to know, like, I'm deficient in this. Like I took a mineral test and I was deficient in X, Y, and Z. You don't want to just be popping things. I like to joke around and say that Americans have the most expensive urine because a lot of people are just taking things and it's coming right out. But it's the placebo effect, I guess, that they're like, oh, I invest in this and this and this. But you don't necessarily need to do that. And you can be causing harm to your body if you're taking something that's setting an off balance with something else. Calcium, too. Calcium is something I see a lot of women taking. And it's a real problem because what happens is calcium really needs to be taken not by itself. You really shouldn't take calcium anyways, unless you've been told that you need to take calcium, but it shouldn't just be taking calcium. You need to take vitamin D and K with it. You can create this calcium shell around your cells. So what that means is you got the cell, now you got this calcium around it. And so any nutrition doesn't break through your cells and your hair starts to fall out and you have no energy. Over and over again, I see this with women who pop calcium or Tums. Tums are high in calcium, and they create a calcium shell in their body.
Hey guys, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will have access to an incredible selection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app available on iOS and Android today.